Hi, this is Joe Weichert with O'Reilly. I'm here at the Books and Browsers event, and I managed to pull aside one of our first speakers, Craig Mod, today. Craig, a couple of things that caught my eye in your presentation, first of which was the notion that if you've got a tablet app and the instructions on how to use it, the UI instructions are so complicated that you actually have to show somebody how to do it, you got a problem. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, I'd say if you need to hire someone to make a video to show you how to use a reading application, then yes, that probably is an indicator that it's a little bit too complex, I would say.
Okay. The second thing that really jumped out at me was you mentioned about HTML. And I know you were talking specifically about different types of content presentation, but one of the things we feel at O'Reilly is that the future is really going to be based on HTML. And of course, EPUB already uses HTML at its foundation. But what do you feel about browser-based content reading in the future as opposed to having to have a separate reading app that's built on something on top of that like EPUB?
Right. Yeah, so I mean, just to clarify, when I say HTML in the presentation, I'm talking about EPUB, I'm talking about even Mobi, is basically feels like a subset of that. If you're working with pure HTML, you can kind of plop it into all these other spaces, especially if it's simple and it's text and it's formless, and you're not worried about definite content and layouts and structures and things like that. So it just feels like it's a good place to start. It's totally universal, very portable. As for reading in the browser, I think absolutely. I mean, in a lot of ways, the magazine, the thing I just presented, the magazine is just a browser. I mean, all of those views of the articles, it's just WebKit. A lot of the reading we do on tablets inside of applications is actually inside of browsers, just wrapped in other Chrome. But I think probably the point you're getting at too is reading just organically on the web, and you kind of run into it as you're using Chrome or Safari or whatever. And I think that has to be built into the ecosystem as well. And that's why, again, like in the magazine, all the articles are sort of mirrored. So, the articles don't just exist in the closed off island app ecosystem. Every article has a one-to-one mirror on the web, on the open web. And I think that's absolutely critical for any reading application.
Yeah, and getting back to the theme that you had in your presentation of subcompact and showing, the little vehicle of 30 some years ago, I think that's so important because it almost seems like we've overthought kind of how to present content and added all the extra layers that we have today.
Right, and I mean the N360, the Honda N360 that I showed, I mean that was the seed that led to Lexus, or led to all these other luxury brands that Honda and Toyota put out today. So, when I say subcompact, I'm talking about just like, let's take a step back, look at, put all the technology on the table and just put it together in the simplest way possible, and forget about why we published magazines, for example, the way we published them before, because a lot of the reasons why we did the things we did, issue size, publishing schedule, things like that, were connected with print and connected with those distribution systems. And so if you take a step back, look at the technology and kind of rethink what's indigenous to that technology, I think you come up with solutions that feel a little more natural.
Yeah, absolutely. A great message about simplicity too. So thanks a lot, Craig. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
And we're on a break here. We've got more great content ahead shortly. Thank you very much.